morning.
Good morning. Please proceed.
Tina Griffin, the Director of the Washington State Gambling Commission.
I'm Tricia Gully, the Legislative and Rules Manager for the Washington State Gambling Commission.
Our mission is to protect the public by ensuring that gambling is legal and honest. And this comes from our legislative declaration in the Gambling Act, which states that the commission is to keep the criminal element out of gambling and promote the social welfare of the people by limiting the nature and scope of gambling activities through strict regulation and control. Gambling is unique in that the state constitution says that gambling is prohibited unless specifically authorized. We are a limited authority law enforcement agency. Our jurisdiction includes the crimes in the Gambling Act as well as the associated crimes in connection with that occur in connection with gambling activity. Upon successful completion of the Basic Law Enforcement Academy, our agents then are certified law enforcement officers by the Criminal Justice Training Academy. We were accredited by the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs in 2014, and we have been reaccredited 3 times, most recently in 2022. We are a non-appropriated agency. Approximately 75% of our funding comes from our license fees, and 25% comes from tribal cost reimbursements. For many years, we've set aside funds to be able to replace our IT systems. Our legacy systems are well over 20 plus years old, and we rely on those to stay operational. We've worked diligently to identify the minimum requirements needed to replace these systems so that we can stay within the budgeted amount for this expenditure. This project is a WATEC oversight project, and we are about to begin development of the new system and hope to have this system launched by this time next year. So it's really important that we are able to preserve our fund balance for this IT replacement, and as well as the future costs for maintaining the new system. This slide has a lot of information. We'll walk you through it. So we have the types of licensed activities for each of the charitable nonprofit organizations as well as the commercial licensees listed on the left. Also, this shows the number of active licensees and the net receipts, which is gross gambling receipts less prizes paid. And the information then is a comparison between 2018 and 2023. So a few takeaways from this, you'll see a 6% decline in the number of active licensees for the charitable nonprofit organizations and an 18% decline in the number of commercial licensees since 2018. Net receipts, though, for charitable nonprofit organizations increased 25%. And commercial licensees 29%. Those increases may be attributed in the punchboard pull tab and commercial card room in the card room area. In 2020, the legislature increased the chance for punchboard pull tabs from $2 to $5, and then in 2023, the commissioners by rule increased the house bank card room wagers from $300 to $400. The Indian Gaming Regulatory Act went into effect in 1988, and the state entered into the first tribal state gaming compact in 1991. Today we have 29 federally recognized tribes in Washington that have tribal state compacts, and 23 tribes are operating 29 gambling facilities. To ensure equity, the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act allows tribes to negotiate gambling activities authorized within the state for any person for any purpose. You've seen this chart already, but so net gambling receipts statewide for fiscal year 24 are at $3.95 billion, and this includes information, net gambling receipts from Class 3 gaming licensed charitable nonprofit organizations, the Horse Racing Commission, as well as the Lottery Commission. So just a little bit about our agency. We have 5 operational units that are key in helping us accomplish our mission. The licensing unit is the first point of engagement for nonprofit and commercial organizations, as well as the individuals seeking to be licensed to conduct or be a part of the gambling activity. This unit conducts over 20,000 background investigations each year on new and renewal applicants to make sure that they meet the qualifications for licensure or to participate in the gambling activity. We also make sure that the funds used to start and operate gambling are from a legitimate source. The regulatory unit is focused on educating our licensees as well as the public because we rely heavily on voluntary compliance. The regulatory unit also does operational compliance inspections, responds to complaints, and conducts criminal investigations that occur on in the licensed facility. Our enforcement unit addresses illegal unlicensed activity that occurs throughout the state. We have an electronic gambling lab that reviews and approves gambling equipment to be used in commercial and nonprofit organizations before being allowed to operate in the state. And then we have the tribal gaming unit, which they work in concert with our tribal gaming agency partners to ensure the compliance of tribal state gaming compacts. So these are some of the criminal investigations that we conduct associated with licensed and unlicensed activities. As I stated, we have the authority to investigate crimes associated with the gambling activity, and some examples of that would be theft of gambling funds, money laundering, and structuring. It's important to note that our casinos and our card rooms are classified as money service businesses under Title 31, the Bank Secrecy Act, so they must follow the federal regulatory requirements for anti-money laundering. An activity that we've seen escalate over the years is thefts in parking lots of patrons followed out to their cars and then robbed at gunpoint or followed to their homes and also robbed, and then also armed robberies at card rooms and casinos. And some of the pictures at the bottom here of this slide are from an investigation that we conducted in 2021 of an illegal pull tab sales that were occurring on Facebook. 3 Washington residents were running a live pull tab sales operation, and we educated the 3 individuals about why the activity they were conducting was illegal, and they cooperated with us so that we were able to complete an investigation as to the manufacturer who was selling the gambling equipment to them, and they were located out of state. These are a few more of the frequent types of offenses that we investigate. The pictures are from an illegal horse race that was occurring in the state, and wagering on the race was occurring. We also are called upon to assist federal, state, and local agencies because of our expertise on gambling and gambling records, and to assist on those investigations where they have a gambling component. For example, we work closely with animal control agencies throughout the state on animal fighting complaints and investigations. And we also receive referrals from adult protective services of vulnerable adults being victimized by their guardians who use their funds to gamble. Problem gambling is also an important part of our work that we do. The Gambling Act requires all licensed locations to post informational signs that contain the toll-free problem gambling helpline, and we do provide the signage. We worked with Evergreen Council of Problem Gambling to have signage just updated, and this is an example of one of our new signs. This will be distributed to all of our licensees in the upcoming weeks. We also have a statewide self-exclusion program. In May of 2022, we implemented the statewide self-exclusion program that allows individuals to voluntarily exclude themselves from gambling at house bank card rooms by submitting one form to us, and then we give notice to all of the card rooms. And we're very pleased on how well this program is going forward. We have over 1,100 individuals registered. We do provide the application materials as well as resource information to those that sign up in over 12 languages too.
Good morning. We do have one piece of agency request legislation this year. Senate Bill 5196 is sponsored by both of our ex officios, Senators Conway and Holy. This bipartisan piece of legislation is a public records exemption that will protect the proprietary financial and security information of our licensees and tribal partners. This legislation protects them by limiting their exposure to fraud, robberies, and cybersecurity threats. It will also protect the public by safeguarding information regarding the equipment used to conduct gambling. Additionally, while this legislation was being drafted, we reached out to licensees, tribal partners, and members of the Sunshine Committee to solicit feedback for any feedback that they had, and we incorporated some of their changes into the bill.
That's all we have for you today.
Okay. You have a question?
Yes.
Senator McCune.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I hear a lot about bingo in my district, and what are the regulations on bingo? When do you have to get a license? When do you don't have to get a license?
So you can operate an unlicensed bingo activity in combination or alone with amusement games and amusement games and raffles, if you meet the definition of a charitable nonprofit organization, operate no more than twice a year with combined gross gambling receipts over up to $5,000. Anything over that, if you're going to operate more than that, then you need to have a license.
So you have to be a nonprofit?
You have to meet the definition of charitable
You
nonprofit.
can't run a little bingo show, come in and put $10 down. You can't do that.
According to the Gambling Act, no.
So, okay. Thank you.
Senator Fortunato.
To dovetail with that question, I believe the law actually says, or political entities. So, but the $5,000 limit was $5,000, a maximum of 2 games, maximum of $5,000 per year, was set in 1976, which would be $28,000 now. So would the Gambling Commission consider raising that limit even to $10,000 or even $20,000 for an unlicensed raffle?
It's in legislation, so we did propose legislation a number of years ago on that particular RCW, and it didn't.
Because I actually ran that also, so.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, if I can follow up a little bit. And also raffle tickets by mail. You can't say, hey, send me $10, I'll send you raffle tickets, correct?
I believe that's a federal regulation. We don't cross into the mail statute requirements.
One more very quickly. $20 million for horse racing in 2024. Can I get the historical amount of money that came from horse racing, and has that increased or decreased over time?
So I will defer that question to the Horse Racing
They're
Commission.
coming up next.
Right, okay.
We contact the lottery and the Horse Racing Commission to get their information to incorporate into our slide.
Okay,
So-
all right, thank you.